Hello gamers, Power and Heal here, and today we have something a bit different. We are going to be looking at this kind of new MMO that's out. So this is called Dreadmyst. I'll put the link in the description. And yeah, it's just kind of like an isometric MMO. Now I normally don't shout out MMOs on the channel, but this one actually caught my attention. It was pretty good. I actually did play it. This is not me that you're seeing in the background. This is actually my cousin. I'm sure he won't mind using his background footage just to do a little bit of a video here. His Twitch is twitch.tv /ScourgeXD, and I'll put that in the description as well. So feel free to kind of go over there and check him out. I think he's one of like the highest rated Paladin players on this server right now. But yeah, I played this game probably about 4 or 5 days ago, something like that. Maybe a little bit longer, like a week ago. I think it launched only a couple days ago. I had meant to do a video about it, but I just kind of never got around to it, and I think it deserves one because it's pretty good. The reason why I'm not playing it now is because it actually makes me sick to play, unfortunately. It's something with the isometric style. I had this issue in Diablo, the remake or whatever. When I have it on normal graphics, I'm fine, but if I use the kind of remake graphics, it I don't know, it just gives me like a type of motion sickness, sort of like almost like a dizziness. Can't really describe it. Just kind of like, it does something with my eyes, I think. It makes them kind of like heavy. I was looking it up on ChatGPT, and it apparently says it's how some people's eyes just perceive certain textures. And you can typically adjust it with the kind of graphical requirement. The problem is this game, since it's like so bare bones, it doesn't really have a way to adjust the graphics. So, with the Diablo 2 remake, you can actually just play the game and have it look like normal Diablo 2, and that works for me for whatever reason. For this game, there's no option to do that. So, yeah, as much as I liked it, I guess like level 22, 23 or something. I think max level is 25, as you can see here with him. But yeah, during the beta, I got to like 23. I had a really strong ranger character. But I just hurt to play, so... that's the only reason I'm not playing it now. Otherwise, I would be streaming it as well. Basically, how the gameplay works, gameplay loop is, you just kind of go into the game and you start slaying monsters. You get gear, as you can see. You can loot them. You have these orbs that you see he just got that upgrade your gear. And then you can also upgrade your gear to the vendor. So the vendor right now is a big part of this game, where basically what you're doing is you're attacking monsters, destroying them, getting gold. And then you're using the gold in the vendor to buy gear. You can buy gear for pretty much every slot, I think, except for belt, is what we found. I don't know if they fixed that or not, because it was in the beta when I played. And the gear seems to be like random roll, sort of, and then it resets either, I think, upon leveling up or after a certain amount of time has passed. So, you can kind of just wait until the vendor kind of has what you want. And then, obviously, mobs drop gear as well. You can trade gear between players. So that's another avenue to get gear. And the gear from the vendors also scales. So if you're like level 18, you'll have like a level 17 option, a level 18 option, a level 19 option for pretty much every slot that you could think of, except for belt, as I said. Maybe they fixed that, not sure. And the gameplay is a lot like WoW. As you can see, he has like an action bar here at the bottom. With a bunch of his abilities. There's quite a few abilities. And you have potions, like some mana potion, health potion. And you can control your character with WASD or click to move. I believe he's using click to move right now because he's melee. If you're playing ranged, it really doesn't feel good to use click to move. Because once you get into combat with something, it's sort of like, there's not a lot of maneuvering that you have to do, as you're seeing right here, especially as his class and melee. You're just kind of attacking things. There's not a ton of kiting in most cases, at least not from this class. But if you're on a ranged character, you want to basically kite everything if you're a mage or a ranger. And the game just doesn't feel quite as responsive if you don't have WASD on. If you have WASD on, it feels amazing. If you have click to move, it feels a little sluggish to me. I think it mostly has to do with just the fact that the mouse, like when you click an area, it's like not precise enough. So yeah, the click to move, like when you click on a spot, I think it registers too much of the map to that spot, I would assume is what's happening. Like maybe too many pixels or something. I'm not entirely sure, but it just doesn't feel really that great to me on click to move. But yeah, they did I think it's a one-man operation that, he did a good job with this game. There's some controversy around this because I guess the guy who made this has made other like WoW Classic private servers that he's kind of set up and then abandoned. So if you're looking for something like long-term to really invest yourself in, I wouldn't recommend this necessarily because who knows what the future is going to be. Like, I don't even know if this guy said he's going to continue to develop content, but it's kind of an interesting thing that you can kind of just play for a little bit. And, if you enjoy it, then you kind of got your worth. I'm not even sure if it's like buy to play or not, to be honest. The beta was free when I tried it, so I had fun. Despite it actually causing me physical pain, I had fun, so that's always a good sign. Like I said, I wouldn't really, if you're looking for something to really sink your teeth into long term, I don't think it's going to be this, especially because even if he does plan on, keeping the game up and active, it's a solo operation as far as I know. So it's going to take quite a bit for new content to be developed. So it'd be probably something where you go in, you kind of max out your character, then you just let it sit for a bit until the updates come. Most of the stuff that I've encountered seems soloable. I'm unsure like if the stuff he's attacking right now could be soloable by the ranger or not. In my experience, you kind of need a lot of space to kite, and you typically want to be soloing things that don't use ranged attacks on you. So, things that cast spells are kind of bad. Things that just hit you with ranged attacks, not so good. The whole point of the paladin is that he's like very mitigation centric. So that's probably why it's very easy for him to just run up and kind of manhandle things, if that makes sense. So how the game kind of works here is that you get points when you level up. And one of the cool things about this game is, I don't know if you still continue to get experience level 25. It doesn't seem like it because he hasn't leveled anything up yet. But up until level 25, you basically get experience all the way. And then that experience can be spent on individual attributes. You can upgrade your skills that you see down here. I think they go from level 1 to 5, and they get stronger. You can upgrade your base stats, like your health, your mana. You can upgrade your crit chance. You can upgrade pretty much anything you can think of stat-wise. And the more you invest into it, the more it requires stat-wise. So you can actually get really creative and make some interesting builds. The problem is I don't know if you can reset the attributes. I'm sure that there probably is a way, I would assume, because otherwise it's kind of weird. I mean, regardless, it's not really that hard to get to level 25 anyway. It'll probably take your average person a couple days of playing. So even if you needed to just make a new character to get all your points down, I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. But it's really cool in that aspect because you can create some interesting builds. And also there's sort of things you can... I kind of like games like this because depending on what you're farming and grinding, you could adjust your build. So especially if you can... adjust your build on the fly, it makes things even a little bit more interesting in the sense that, let's say I'm fighting monsters who use a fire spell, right? So maybe I'll invest into a ton of fire resist on that character. Or if I'm, fighting monsters that I can just kite infinitely, then I don't have to have any defense, right? And I can just put everything into offense and take them down a lot quicker. So there's a lot of flexibility. This is the town, like the main town. You'll see the vendors here. See Heavy Armor Merchant. That's where you buy your heavy armor stuff. Then there's Reins and Shield, Blades. So there's a vendor for pretty much everything, like I said, except belts. I'm not sure. Then he's walking to the bank over here. It's actually kind of good that he's showing this because this is kind of an obscure spot for a bank. But it's all the way in the corner over here. You can see there's a reasonable amount of people playing the game. I think it's actually, like I said, a well-made game. It just hurts my eyes for whatever reason, so that's the only reason I'm not playing it. But otherwise, I would definitely still be messing around on it. It's not super deep or complex. There's not really like a ton of endgame raids or anything like that. So again, it's not going to be your next WoW or something like that, at least not right now. But from what is there, it's fun to play, and it's enjoyable to at least kind of get to, I feel like, level 25, kind of max out your character, see how it feels. It's got a little bit of that ARPG vibe right now, where it's kind of like, you go in, you make a character, you start slaying everything, and then eventually I'll probably get bored. Like, I don't know how long my cousin really plans on playing this for, because like I said, I don't think that they're going to do regular updates with super quick intervals, right? So I don't think we have a big update coming soon or anything like that. And he's probably already pretty much maxed out. He's been playing for, I think, the past 2 or 3 days since launch. So yeah, it's fun. If you want to see more, go to his Twitch stream and just check it out. He's pretty helpful with questions and stuff like that, so feel free to ask him what he thinks about the game if you want perspective of somebody who's played a little bit more than me. But I did play quite a bit during the first 2 days of beta, and I really enjoy it. Stuff like this was really cool. I know we just talked about in the last video that there's not many kind of indie MMO options out there, and this is certainly not... It's not taking up the long-term slot, but it's cool that people are making stuff like this, and it kind of gives you some hope, because this is really well made for what it is. This is not going to take the genre by storm, but for what it is, it's done really well. It's fun to play. The thing that I like most about this game, honestly, and my friend and I were laughing, my other cousin, is that this game feels so responsive, especially when you play it in WASD. It just feels so great to play, and this is something that a lot of modern MMOs fail at, which is pitiful, to be honest. I feel like WoW is kind of like the best feeling to play online multiplayer game probably ever, especially when you encounter take into account how many people are on the server at the same time. Especially, I would say it's definitely the best MMO in terms of how the game feels to play, and it's not even close. And I feel like there's so many other companies that kind of just, they have it sort of close, but it's not quite right, or in some cases just not really close at all. And it boggles my mind how a game that came out in 2004 is still kind of like the best feeling game to play. And this very much reminds me of that. So, I mean, I just love kind of moving around the game and attacking stuff on the range or kiting it. It's just fun. Just the gameplay alone intrinsically is fun, and I think that is a really cool aspect. And that is a really cool aspect of WoW too, especially if you play something like Hunter and WoW. You're moving in between your auto shot, you're slowing things with concussive shot. It's a really cool thing when the game plays well. I think that if you just make a game that has really fun feeling combat, that's very responsive, people would be really surprised about how long just that can keep people interested in the game, right? And it's something that I think a lot of devs kind of take for granted nowadays. And if they just made better combat, some of these MMOs would be a lot better. So I'm really impressed for what this is. Figured I'd share it with you guys. There's actually another one that's coming out in a couple of days, another beta. It's called Apogea. I'm going to do a video on that probably tomorrow. But figured I would just do this one for today. So thank you guys for watching. Like I said, check out my cousin at twitch.tv/ScourgeXD if you want to see more gameplay of this. And like, comment, subscribe if you enjoyed this. And I will talk to you guys next time. See ya.